Hey everybody, Jody Spiegelhoff here from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I'm back today with another process video. This one I'm trying to kill my September of 14 click kit using the Heidi Swapp September Skies, along with some other stuff mixed in from my stash and my shop and things like that. So I'm just trying to kind of going through everything here. I thought I might want to use that So Delicious like little alphabet strip thing and this sheet. But I'm not really sure. So as you can see in that polka dot paper, I already trimmed off an inch on either side, so it's now 11 by 11 and not 12 by 12. I'm just trying to figure out which way I want the paper to lay, if I want to use that pink side or the really, really pretty, like that birch tree scene background that's really awesome. So, but since I can't decide, I know I'm going to keep part of it for later, so I cut a hunk out of the middle. This is a great trick if you really love a double-sided paper and you can't, bear to just use one side. I know I have that problem. I'll cut a hunk out of the middle, especially if I'm going to layer them up. So then I just grab a piece of American Crafts cardstock and decide to commit to the tree's background and just kind of go from there. So I can save that other piece for another layout. So here I am just kind of messing around with, again, placement and where I want everything and which side I want to use, the A or the B. As pretty as that floral is, I think that's the A side. I usually do gravitate towards the B side of most, most of the papers. Doesn't really matter, the manufacturer, but you can ask yourself if you're an A or a B, and I'm usually a B. So I did want to use, some splashes of color in this one, seeing that Abby's got that purple coat on and her bright pink gloves really stick out, and we're planting flowers in the spring. That picture's from about the end of May or so this year. So then I commit to sticking that down with my Easy Runner Grand from Scrapbook Adhesives. That's my new favorite tape runner. It's fantastic. And I'll link to a comparison video in the YouTube description below too. I compared that to the ATG last month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago, and I got rid of my ATG. So it's fantastic. Alright, so now I'm just going to layer up some of the pieces. I do want to have some pops of color in there, but keep most of it relatively neutral. I really wanted Abby to kind of stick out in the pictures, and I think that she does, just with her purple coat and her pink hat and pink gloves and the pink flowers in the picture and the pretty grass that's finally starting to come in our yard. And it was a really great day. We planted flowers, and her sisters got home and they weren't too happy that we planted some flowers without them, but that's okay. They were big kids and they were in school. So, alright, well, just kind of keep going here. So what I did is I used that light wood grain to kind of mat Abby's picture on. And then I cut the other bright piece with the green and the blue apart, just so I can use it a couple different places and just kind of save some of it too. But I still wanted to add some pops of color without being too distracting from Abby's pictures. And what I did too to kind of get 3 pictures on one 12 by 12 layout is I did trim those two of the horizontal pictures down about a ½ inch on either side. So now they're 3 by 6 instead of 4 by 6, and that just adds that much more room. And what I did just there, those pictures are actually a glossy finish, which I usually don't scrapbook with, but Walgreens printed my pictures wrong, so I just kept them. And so I didn't get fingerprints all over the glossy pictures. I just put a piece of the paper down over it and then, gave it a good rub over just to make sure that adhesive was all stuck down pretty good. And now I'm just going to add some more layers, just trying to figure out what washi tape I want to use. And of course I'll add a couple doilies here. And I just stick those right on or right behind my layers, and I tend to pull up layers a little bit so I don't put adhesive right to the edge of my pictures or the layers of paper, just so I can pull it up a little bit and tuck stuff back there. It's a great trick for layering. You can really get a lot more out of your paper, so you can kind of layer stuff behind it and split pieces of paper in two and, you know, add them on either side of a picture or opposite sides of a layout. So it really makes you be able to stretch out your papers too. So, all right, well, just kind of keep going here. I'm just adding some washi tape. That's the Funky Alphabet washi tape that's in my shop. It's super, super cute. And then I'll add another one up here too, to kind of try and balance it out and just spread some more of the little hints of color around. And I did cut that doily in half and then split it between the top left and bottom right of the layout. Just enough to add a little bit more of, you know, a dainty feel to it. And I love doilies, as you can tell. You can also stamp on them. I do some stamping here in a little bit. So I stamp right on them just with my Memento ink in black. I've actually embossed on them too, just with some Versamark and some embossing powder, and it looks really, really pretty. So I'll have to remember to show that in an upcoming video so you guys can see how that turns out. All right, now I'm just starting to pull out some embellishments. Just kind of see what else I wanted to use. I wanted to stick with mainly Heidi Swapp stuff. This layout is inspired from her Capture Life, her 30 Days series that she just started. This one is going to be from day 11, and it's Today Was Totally, and Today Was Totally Happy. So this is me and Abby's day. So Today Was Totally Happy, going off of Heidi Swapp's prompt for day 11 of her Capture Life 30-day series that she's got going on. So of course I had to pull out some Heidi Swapp stamps, and I'm pretty sure I got those at Michael's for like under $2 a few months ago. So I'm just going to stamp with those and just stamp a few things on the doilies, and then I'll just add a few more layers. I just love her handwriting. Isn't her handwriting awesome? I wish my handwriting was that good. Some days I like my handwriting, but other days I just don't. I don't know what it is. Anybody else feel like that? I don't know. I feel like some days my handwriting looks nice, and then other days it just looks like crap. So I digress. So then you just saw me add a couple of the super cute paper clips, and those are from Freckled Fawn. They just had a really good sale a couple weeks ago, and I got a bundle of paper clips. I got the arrows. I got a bunch of words. Really, really, really good price. So I snatched some of those up. So now I'm just going to stamp here. And one thing I do to kind of arrange the clear stamps is I'll put them on the layout first, kind of figure out where I want to put them and how far apart I want the word spaced or the heart shape spaced or whatever, and then I'll put the block on top of it and then stick the block, you know, stick the words right to the block from the layout. That's just a nice little, makes it a little bit easier. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my date using my Dear Lizzie roller stamp. I probably had that a couple years, but it's perfect. It's perfect. It's got all the dates you can roll on there. Cute little sayings, so you can either use them or not use them. Sometimes I'll put a piece of tape over it, or I'll just be careful not to ink it up, and then I'll just use it just for the date. Ooh, and I'm using my new Ombre Hero Arts pad. I only have one of these, but I love it. It's so, so, so pretty. So I'm just going to ink that up a couple times and just stamp the date a few times, and then, you know, stamp it off so it gets a little bit lighter. That just looks kind of cool. All right, what's next? I'm going to adhere this piece of flare, and I'm going to make sure I use my permanent glue dots from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. They're super, super sticky and fantastic. And then lastly, I'm just going to add some of these newer Heidi Swapp chipboard. I got these at Michael's also a couple months ago, and I think they were by her planner stuff. They were on like a little end cap, you know, or like a center one in the aisle, and it was by the planner stuff. So I grabbed this one and a couple other ones, and I love them. They're so pretty. I like how they're mostly white, but they just add little pops of color, which was perfect for this layout. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where I want the smile, and I commit to sticking it down there. And then I'll add a couple other little things here. I like how she's got the hearts in different sizes, but with the same like print across it. It's really, really pretty. So those are perfect to add around flare or other accents. making little embellishment clusters around my layout here. And as you can kind of look, like I usually do my embellishment clusters so they come out to a triangle sort of. That just really helps lead your eye around the layout to create a visual triangle like that, and just really helps to balance things out. So that would be my recommendation, is to, if you're going to do, you know, embellishment little clusters, do them so they kind of, you know, go in the shape of a triangle in some way, shape, or form on your layout. That just really helps lead the eye, and it's just a really natural way to look at things. All right, so I'm just kind of finishing up here. I think I'm still looking and debating whether I want to throw some wood veneers on there or some Freckle Fawn enamel dots, but they're not quite the right pink, so I'm going to throw some black and white heart washi on there. That gets nice and bold. All right. Well, I think we're wrapping it up here. I am just adding a little bit of journaling to a few places, and then I'll wrap it up here and be all finished. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my process video, and I challenge you to go along with Heidi's challenge to capture life and truly capture it every day. So we will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'd love it, and give my video a thumbs up. Thanks. We'll see you next time.